This is a very old photo of my grandmother that I had scanned on a flatbed scanner. So let's take a look at it here. We'll zoom in a little bit more so that you can see what the quality is. It's not a bad photo, but you can see resolution isn't great and there are some scratches on it. So let's see what we can do to fix all of that. What I'm going to do is go up to the filters here and select neural filters. As you can see, it has highlighted the face in the photo. The neural filters use a lot of AI, and there's a new one that helps with photo restoration. So I'm going to scroll down here to the bottom one, which is photo restoration. It is in beta, but it still works quite well. I'm going to turn that on, and then I can make some adjustments. I'm going to further enhance the photo, but not over enhance the face. Try to get some scratch reduction done also. It takes a little bit of time here while it's processing and making those changes. We'll see those in just a second. You probably can't tell too well from here, but the image is greatly improved. So I'm going to zoom in here so that you can get a better view of it. Look how much cleaner and smoother this looks. It even took care of some of the scratches on it. So we'll go back here, fit it on the screen again. This has a frame around it, an old one that I can't take the photo out of. So I'm going to do some things to improve this and get rid of that old frame on it. First thing, I'm going to crop it, fairly close in fact. To crop it in Photoshop, you just use the crop tool on the left there and then double click when you're ready to actually crop it. So now I still want to get rid of that whole what's left of the frame around there. So I'm going to go up here to the elliptical marquee tool, and I'm going to press and hold down on it to create a selection there around the image itself. But that's not what I want to get rid of. I want to get rid of the frame that's around it, so I'm going to do the inverse. So one of the tools in Photoshop allows you to delete it, and one of the options is to be content aware. So it's going to look at what's there in the image and fix that. So as you can see now, we're rid of that old frame. Deselect it. I don't like the way the shoulders look on there, so I'm going to do some more cropping. Just pull that in a bit on each side. And I don't need all that dark at the bottom either, so I'm going to pull it in on all sides. And again, double click now that the crop has been selected. So one of the things that you will notice on a lot of old photos is that there may be a number of scratches. Sometimes there are white dots all over the place. And there are some tools in Photoshop that allow you to get rid of that. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'll show a few of them, and then you won't have to sit through the whole time that I'm fixing those. The spot healing tool works extremely well. You need to be aware of the size of it. The size that you need will depend on the size of your photo itself and how big they are. So see, when all I have to do is click on those things, and it gets rid of, you know, the little white dots there. There's also a scratch there. You can't see it too well, but I'm using the healing tool to get rid of the scratches. It does a pretty nice job there. Her lip is a little bit weird there, so I'm going to try to fix that a little bit too. Okay, that hopefully will look a little bit better. I'm going to continue on to a number of other little spots around there. You know, a lot of the old photos just have these spots on them. I want to get this cleaned up as well as I can before we go into some of the later steps to complete this restoration. Again, you may need to change the size of it depending on what it is you're trying to heal in the photo. So here's a larger one, for instance, and I'm just going to go all over it to make it so that it isn't such an odd change in color once I do that. Okay, so I've finished. I did a number more of them. Now what we're going to do is we're going to colorize it. And to colorize it, we'll go back up to the filter. And we're going to go back to neural filters. And another new one that is in these neural filters is to colorize. So I'm going to click on colorize. Now a lot of times it doesn't work well in Photoshop. There's some other tools that you can use. But what I have also found is especially in the older photos, if you cut down on the saturation, you can get some pretty decent results that don't look outlandish, like too much color to them. So once you've done that, say OK, and there's the new image. Let's compare the two images and review what was done for this photo restoration. The scan of an old photo was brought into Photoshop. Next, the neural filter for photo restoration was used to improve the resolution and quality of that photo. The frame or matting around the photo needed to be removed. This was done by using the elliptical marquee tool to select the photo image. It was inverted to select the area outside of the photo, which was the frame or matting. The matting was deleted with Content Aware selected. In this way, the selected area, the frame or matting, was replaced with content based on what was in the photo. The image was further cropped. Then the spot healing removal tool was used to get rid of spots, scratches, and other imperfections in the photo. Finally, the neural filter for colorization was used. The saturation was lowered for a more realistic looking photo. And here was the end result. And that's about it for this simple video on how to do photo restoration in Photoshop. Thank you for watching.